So last week in chemistry, we looked at alkanes. I'm going to go through alkanes again. But this week we're looking at alkenes. And exactly like last week, it's about drawing them. I quite like that aspect of organic chemistry, where you get to draw molecules. So let's just dive into it. So last week we looked at alkanes. And hydrocarbons, which is the group that they belong to, contain. Well, let's just kind of recap that. Hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons contain two things. They contain hydrogen and carbon. Okay. Well, when you look at hydrogen and carbon, hydrogen has one outer electron. It forms one bond. Carbon is in group 4. It forms 4 bonds. This never changes. And this allows you, as we did last time, to make rather large complex molecules. And last week what we looked at was alkanes. And the alkanes are the simplest of hydrocarbons, and we use the word saturated. I'm just going to throw that word in today. It really doesn't matter right now. And just to remind you of them, you start off with one carbon, 4 bonds, stick a hydrogen on it. That's one carbon. You can have 2 carbons, and to have 2 carbons, you'd have to join them together. Actually, let's put it another way. To have a 2-carbon hydrocarbon, you join 2 carbons, put a bond, that line is a bond, but just one. Put 4 bonds all the way around each carbon and pop a hydrogen on the end. These are the alkanes, and we did that last week. If you're new, don't worry about it, it's a drawing. You kind of get used to it. The hardest thing is counting to 4 for carbons. And that sounds really condescending. It's really not meant to be. I've got A-level students who go, see, I don't get why I got it wrong. How many bonds in your carbon? 5. Oh. So don't worry about that. If it's 1 carbon, it's called methane. If it's 2 carbons, because it's an alkane, I'm doing the alkanes, then it's ethane. 3 carbons, propane, and butane. And those were the things that we looked at last week. And I put this methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane. These are the prefixes. And I remember them as MePB. MePB. Methane, ethane, propane, butane. Where we've got 1 carbon, 2 carbon, 3 carbons, 4 carbons. This looks a bit like a H. That's not supposed to be a H. That's an M for MePB. Do you know that still looks too much like a H? MePB. All right. So that's what we did last week. And this week we're looking at a completely different group of hydrocarbons. They are called the alkenes. As you can tell by the names, they're related. And the difference is they have a double bond. All right, and you'll see what I mean by that. They have a double bond, and this double bond is called a functional group. Don't worry too much about that. As I said, I'm throwing language in. And then we're going to kind of get used to it. So what I mean by a double bond, and the funny thing is you can't have a double bond with 1 carbon. You'll see why. Let me just change colour. You can't have a double bond with 1 carbon. You must have 2. And you'll see what I mean. And we start down here at 2 carbons. So double bond means I've got 2 carbons, and there's my double bond. I've got 2 bonds. Now remember, carbon can only have 4 bonds. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 for this carbon, HH at the end. On the other carbon, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, HH. And that's it. We are done. This is not ethane. This is ethene. Okay? I'm going to do one more as I normally do. This time it's going to be 3 carbon. And I'm going to start with the alkane. 1, 2, 3. This would be a 3 carbon alkane. I'm putting 4 bonds on every carbon. Well, hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. So many hydrogens. And this would be propane. Me PB, me P, 1, 2, 3 at the top, you can see here. 1, 2, 3, methane, ethane, propane. This is propane. All right, now, looking at the alkene with it, double bond carbon, but I need 3, well, actually, do you know what, I'm not going to draw it like that. Let's do it step by step. I need 3 carbons. One of them, and only one of them, has to be a double bond. The other is single. Then I drop on and make sure I've got 4 lines coming off each carbon. It's a little bit tricky, so I'm going to count you through them, all right? Now, if I look at my first carbon, I'm calling this carbon number 1. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. This is carbon number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. And the last one in the corner, you can see. Once I've done that, I just put my H's in. H, 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 and H. This is 3 carbons. So it starts with me PB, me P, P3, prop. But instead of ane, this is an alkene. So this is propene. All right. So your job, I've gone through the different parts of what we're going to do. There is a general formula here, but we're not going to touch it at all. Your job, first of all, is to name the alkenes. Now remember, these are alkenes. You fill this worksheet and all you're doing is naming them. Your second job is, I want you to draw them. All right. And we're going all the way to hex 2ene. Don't worry about the hex 2ene. Don't worry about number 2. I'll explain it. And butene and stuff. Okay. So that is today's lesson, darlings. Oh, 7 minutes. So